Hey everyone, Caffeine Man here, and today we're going over the new 3D energy drinks. There's a lot to go over, so let's get started. Hello again everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And in today's video, we're going over the new 3D energy drink. If you didn't know, I posted a video right there. You can check that out. 3D was owned by Christian Guzman, but they were run by Congo Brands. After several years of litigation, they have parted ways and Christian Guzman decided to buy the company out. So he is 100% owner of 3D Energy. So they have slowly been discontinuing all the other flavors, selling them down at stores and stuff in order to replace them with these new cans. I'm going to tell you a little bit about these new drinks, what's different between the two, and do a taste test of the first 5 flavors. That's right, 5 drinks for a review, so I gotta keep going. You guys know how long it takes me to taste out a drink. Let's compare these cans. And here's a comparison between the two cans. As you can see, they really upgraded the graphics on here. They went a little bit more detailed on this one as opposed to a very plain red, white, and blue here. You'll also notice that the 3D logo is a bit smaller on here while it is much bigger on here. And even though the graphics are slightly different, they are still going with their semi-simplistic look. And looking at the ingredients, they are still actually using caffeine anhydrous, so they did not convert over to the way of a natural caffeine. These drinks are slightly lower in calories than the last one. Some of the last ones were 20 calories. These are 10 calories. The sodium was a bit higher on the last ones too. They're about 250 milligrams of sodium as opposed to 135 milligrams of sodium in these new ones. Additionally, the carbs went down a little bit. The last one had 6 grams of carbs and it had actually 2 grams of erythritol for sugar alcohol. So it was more like 4 grams of carbs, whereas these new drinks only have 2 grams of carbs, no sugar alcohol. And for your vitamins, they went up on all of the B vitamins. The old drinks only had 140% of your daily value of most of your B vitamins, while the new drinks have 200% your daily value, niacin, B6, B12, and pantothenic acid. Now, some of the special ingredients in the previous drinks included taurine, Panax ginseng root extract, L-carnitine tartrate, glucuronolactone, and guarana seed extract. That was for their proprietary blend, whereas the new drink has a little bit less. It looks like it still uses the L-carnitine tartrate as well as the taurine, but I don't see anything about the ginseng or the guarana extract. So it looks like they gave you more B vitamins. They're still using some of the ingredients from the original drink. They cut down on the calories and the sodium. It's really a matter of if you actually think that the drinks needed ginseng and guarana seed extract, because typically those ingredients are pixie dusted in energy drinks. It originally started off with Rockstar and Monster using those ingredients, but a lot of companies have taken those out. It looks like 3D also decided to take it out. These drinks still do have 200 milligrams of caffeine in a 16-ounce can, and now that you know all the differences between the two, the old and the new, let's go ahead, let's taste out these 5 drinks. And a huge shout out and thank you goes to Energy Drink City. Energy Drink City sent me a case of energy drinks in exchange for an honest review, which I had already done in a previous video. Be sure to check out that video if you'd like to see it. But Energy Drink City allows you to get a variety of drinks. You can buy single cans, or you can get a 6-pack or a 12-pack and mix and match those drinks. It is a great place to get single can energy drinks. I picked up these 5 brand new 3D flavors, as well as a bunch of other new energy drinks. So definitely check out Energy Drink City's website. They have a lot of the newest drinks on the market, as well as a large collection of other energy drinks from those lines. It's Energy Drink City. Check it out. They have lots of energy drinks, and you can actually save 10% off when you use coupon code CaffeineMan. Fill up your cart with drinks, go to checkout to check out how much the shipping is, because that's what everyone says. Shipping is so high, shipping is so high. They are actually giving you a great rate on shipping. So if you guys are looking for single can energy drinks, it's a great place to check out. Thank you to Energy Drink City for sending me these 5 to review for my audience. Now the toughest question I have is to which one to start off with 5 great flavors. I'm not sure. I want to start off with my favorite, but we are going old school Caffeine Man. Old school Caffeine Man used to start with the one he thinks he's gonna like the least to the one he thinks he's gonna like the best and hope that he gets them in the right order. Haven't done this in a long time. 3D has just revamped their entire line, so you're getting a full review of all 5 drinks. First one up is gonna be the Chrome, which they're not calling Chrome anymore. It is called Strawberry Lemonade. And the can looks pretty similar to the other one. I have all the other cans around here somewhere. Don't really need to compare them, but they are fairly similar. They really did keep with a similar look to the previous cans, but different enough so that you know these are the new cans. If you're a fan of the channel, you know that lemonade is my least favorite flavor. So we are gonna start with that one first, but I do remember them doing a decent job with the Chrome. Curious if this one's gonna be better. It should be. Let's taste it out. Also, their previous drinks had color in them. I am fairly confident they took the color out because no one likes artificial colors. So that is another improvement that they have. I am using these tiny 3-ounce cups because one, I ran out of the regular cups, and also I've already done 2 other reviews today. So that is helping me talk faster through this review. But I really need to modify my caffeine intake because caffeine safety, people. No more than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. Sometimes you go a little over. No special pour either, but we do indeed have a clear color, and that is really clear. Like sometimes with these drinks, you can see a little opacity to them, a little bit of cloudiness and stuff, but that is perfectly clear. I'm curious if all the other ones are going to be perfectly clear, because that can be pretty tough to do with all the ingredients in there. But then again, they do seem to have a little less ingredients than what they had before. But between the L-carnitine, the 200 milligrams of caffeine, and the flavor, that seems to be all you guys normally care about. Let's taste it out. And I've come to realize that in my reviews, I drink a lot more than I think that I'm drinking. Before, the Chinette cups that I had, I thought they were 6-ounce. Come to find out, I was reading it upside down. They're actually 9-ounce. So when I used to fill up half a cup or more and then go back in, I was drinking like half of the drink, thinking that I was only at like 400 milligrams. So I was probably close to the 600. But how are you supposed to do an accurate taste test with just that much? Now that we know their clear color, I'm going to drink whatever I need to drink to get you guys an accurate review, to tell you the flavor, to tell you how it tastes, to get you the flavor profile and the information that you need to know. For carbonation, I would say you got a medium to high carbonation, slightly closer to medium. I think it is a bit smoother. For your sweetness, I do think you're getting a high sweetness on the low end of high. And for your flavor profile, I do think you are getting a high flavor profile. And I think they did a really good job with it. And I actually seem to remember liking this one a little bit more than before. Now, I reviewed this probably about 5 years ago. So the only thing I really have to go on is by my previous review, which I did rewatch to get a refresher. And I actually do like this one better. I already have the score in my head, and what I like about it is that it is not an overly potent lemonade flavor. The thing that I dislike about lemonades is the high amount of lemon and acidicness to them, and this doesn't really have that. It's a really good balance between the strawberry and the lemon flavor in there, and I think because it has lemon, it's called lemonade, but this could easily be called a strawberry lemon drink, but no one really ever calls something lemon after the name. They always call it lemonade. So you're getting a nice solid pink lemonade out of here with a little bit more strawberry than the lemon flavor. You get the strawberry up front, which is then quickly replaced by the lemon, but neither one of them are too overly strong. And not to say it's not a strong flavor, it is a high flavor profile because it's a nice solid flavor. They're giving you a good solid strawberry with a nice complementary lemon in there. And I think that if they went any stronger in either one of the flavors, one of those flavors would be overpowering you. And I'm glad that they didn't do that with the lemon, because then that lemonade flavor would really overpower it. Going in one more time. And it definitely has a light and refreshing feel to it. If anything, I might even say that it's a high flavor profile on the low end of high because it's a touch lighter than your other strawberry lemonades out there, but still a really solid flavor. So when we go ahead and take a look at the Caffeine Man rating chart, my goodness, I got a lot of pink lemonades up there, a lot of strawberry lemonades up there. And if you look long enough, look towards the middle of the chart, you'll see where the 3D Chrome rated before. I definitely think that this is an improvement. I'm gonna give this an 8.9 because wow, that is bumping up the list. That is passing like 7 other flavors over there. I honestly think this is better than those flavors because it is solid, but also light and refreshing at the same time. Not too potent in lemon flavor. On to the next one. On to the next one. Next one up is an interesting one. We are going with the watermelon grape. Like the gradient that they put on there, they went from a red to a purple with some crimson in the middle. They got pictures of grapes at the top. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be more grape than watermelon, but the bottom, if you look really, really close, they did a really good about holding in the background without being too blatantly obvious, not sticking out. It's a light graphic in the background for the watermelon rind. But not really sure how I feel about watermelon grape. I am not a huge grape fan, and when it comes to watermelon, I tend to think that the watermelons sometimes tend to be a little bit too light. So I would hope that this was really more watermelon grape because it says watermelon as the first name on there, watermelon grape. So I'm really hoping that is accurate, and boop, I am not going to use the cups anymore after this one, clear color, because they're way too small, and we all know that all the rest of them are clear. Last time with the itty bitty cups. taste it out. All right, that's really good. I try not to give reactions during the middle of it, but when you're surprised by something like that, like I said, it's the second one I'm reviewing out of 5. I really didn't think it was gonna be that good, but don't get too far ahead of yourself, Caffeine Man. We're no longer gonna be talking about the carbonation because carbonation is the same in all of them most likely. As for the sweetness, this did go up in sweetness. This is getting a high sweetness, just a straight on high sweetness. And flavor profile, we're also gonna talk about that because this is a high flavor profile and I actually like it. I didn't think to, and I mean, I'm not saying, oh, I like it because it's a good grape and I don't like grape. I mean, I personally actually like this flavor for some reason because it's very well balanced, and I'm always intrigued by well balanced flavors because you are getting a grape flavor in there, but as you get that grape flavor, you're getting this watermelon. It's almost overpowering. Some of you might actually taste the watermelon first, complemented by the grape, but it's like a 55-45 balance there, almost 50-50. I gotta see which flavor I'm getting the most of. I'm getting the watermelon right up the front, just like the name of the can, watermelon grape, but that grape comes in, it's blended really well. You're getting them almost at the same time. And the watermelon is a strong enough, solid flavor to compete with that grape at 50%. If the watermelon wasn't strong enough, you'd probably have a 70 grape, 30 watermelon or lower. But they really did go and give you a stronger, pumped up watermelon flavor to compete, not even compete, to complement that other 50% grape, and it's a good flavor. It is also a solid flavor, and even though it is a bit more solid in flavor profile than the strawberry lemonade one, I still get this nice, subtle, light and refreshing flavor from it. I'm not sure if it's because it's the watermelon or even the grape. Both of those fruits have a bit of a wateriness to them. When you eat a watermelon, it's mostly water. And even grapes, you eat those, they're kind of squishy, they're very watery, very liquidy. They're light and refreshing, and they somehow brought that light and refreshing into this. Even though the flavor profile is a high flavor profile and a solid drink, it's not really watered down at all, but somehow light and refreshing. I guess maybe that's my problem. When I think light and refreshing, I think maybe slightly watered down, but it's not. This is a great drink. It's really, really good, and I want to drink more, but I still got 3 more to go. I already had some other drinks. So let's go ahead, let's put this on the Caffeine Man rating chart. Not sure which chart I'm even going to put it on because I don't have a watermelon grape chart. There are no watermelon grapes out there. Unique flavor from 3D. You have to try it. I know you guys probably don't want to buy a case of it, so check out Energy Drink City. But watermelon grape, I'm probably going to put it on the watermelon chart or the grape chart. Maybe I'll put it on both the charts, but I guess I'll put it on the watermelon chart first. My goodness, this is getting a 9.2, way up there. Not too many above it, but that is just for the watermelons, which is kind of sort of unfair because, you know, it's not just watermelon, it's watermelon grape. But still, to be competitive with all those guys at only half the amount, great job. But let's take a look at the grapes. Man, there's a lot of grapes too up there. And like I said, we already know that it's a 9.2. So 9.2 grape against all of those drinks. My goodness, solid drink. Definitely throwing me for a loop, shocking me because I'm uncertain if the other 3 will be 9.2s. I'm guessing they're close to the 9s, or some of them higher than the 9s, but I was not expecting to give that a 9.2. Let's move on. All right, you already saw this can, Liberty Pop. Red, white, and blue. I do remember, and not even before I looked at my review, my previous review, I do remember liking this one. It almost hit the 9s. See if this one can hit the 9s. All right, carbonation the same, sweetness high, flavor profile also high, and this is the epitome of your standard Rocket Pop flavor, but it is a strong, solid flavor. And listen, you think about what Rocket Pop is supposed to taste like. Each and every one of you know what Rocket Pop tastes like. Most of the companies went with Rocket Pop as a straight on flavor. Other companies did red, white, and blue a little bit differently. They went a little more red, they went a little bit more blue. Sometimes their blue was more raspberry. Sometimes they give you a little bit more white of that citrus, because some companies like to switch things up a bit, but they actually stuck to tradition. They stuck with your standard Rocket Pop flavor. They gave you a solid amount of that Rocket Pop flavor with it still being light and refreshing. I am very excited that all these drinks are light and refreshing. I can't help but think of summer with each and every one of them that I drink, and that could be because strawberry lemonade, lemonade's a summer drink, watermelon, summer drink, Rocket Pop, red, white, and blue, 4th of July. So yeah, I'm getting this light and refreshing feel throughout them all, but still a nice solid flavor, but to know how good of a flavor it is and is it better than the previous one, we got to take a look at the Caffeine Man rating chart. Like I said, the last one was an 8.8. This is definitely better than that. Christian Guzman, great job. This one is going to be getting a, look at that. My goodness, look at that. Competitive category, a lot of great ones up there. You're gonna fit right in the middle of that great category of 9s with a 9.2. Yes, 9.2 for the red, white, and blue. And looking at all those drinks right around it, up and right slightly above it and slightly below it, that is probably the potency of that red, white, and blue rocket pop flavor that you're getting. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, I wasn't sure where to put this one. You can tell the color of the can if you know the drinks which one this is. This one is cucumber melon. Very, very interesting. There haven't been that many cucumber drinks. Monster says that their Ultra Paradise was supposed to have a little bit of cucumber in it. I did not get that at all. The only other flavor that I can think of that comes close to this in description would be the Rockstar Lemon Pepino. And that was much more of a cucumber lime drink, which is really, really good. I'm not sure if you can still get it. I used to get a variety pack that had it, and but I haven't seen it in stores at all. But Rockstar in stores near me doesn't happen very often. But when you go to a fancy restaurant, if you guys have ever been to a fancy restaurant, I'm talking like super fancy. I've only been to like one that was this fancy, that they actually put cucumber in the water, and you think cucumber, come on now. No, it is actually a nice way to make your water a light and refreshing water, in the theme of 3D. But then they also got the melon in there, and there aren't that many melon drinks. And we're not talking watermelon, we're talking like honeydew melon. There's a couple of honeydew melons that you'll see when we get to the Caffeine Man rating chart. There's not many of them. I am a huge fan of honeydew melon as a fruit, but to get cucumber melon in an energy drink, I have high hopes for it because it is the second to last drink, making me think that it was gonna be the best, but the other one I think has a better chance at being the best. But very, very excited to try this one out. It's a clear color. I'm not pouring it out. Just gonna get right. I'm gonna get a little sniff too. A little smell. Seems very melony to me. Let's taste it out. All right. Very interesting indeed. Carbonation the same. Sweetness, I'm gonna go on the low end of high. Flavor profile, I'm gonna go medium to high, closing in on high. They're still giving you a decent amount of flavor, but this flavor overall, compared to the rest, is giving you a much more light and refreshing flavor, and it's not as strong, solid, and potent as the other ones. And I'm thinking that's because you can't really go too potent with a cucumber. How strong can a cucumber be? And you can't go, I guess you can go a little stronger in sweetness for your honeydew melon, if that's the melon that they were trying to get, or were they trying to get a generic melon flavor? And what I mean by that is when you think of your honeydews, your cantaloupes, and your watermelons, they're all part of the melon family, so maybe they were trying to get you a regular melon flavor. But either way, both of those flavors are a little bit light, so out of the 4 of these so far, that is the most light and refreshing one. The flavor doesn't punch you in the face, but there is something in there that is a little bit tart on the back end. Almost had me thinking of a hint of lime in there, but then I was like, maybe that's just the green, or maybe because I had Lemon Pepino in my head. I'm not sure, but there is something in there that is just a touch tart, and it doesn't make sense because cucumbers aren't tart at all, and even melons are more sweet than they are ever tart. So it seems like there's something, and it's not overly tart. It's not like, whoa, but it's on the back end. If I had to give you some percentages, it's like 5 or 10% tart, but it doesn't taste overly cucumbery, and it doesn't taste overly melony. So if someone gave this to me in a blind taste test and said, what's this flavor? I wouldn't be able to guess. It's an interesting flavor at that, but I would never be able to guess that it was cucumber because I haven't had any cucumber drinks except that one time at that fancy restaurant. And even the melon flavor, it's really tough to focus in on, but as a whole, the drink is just kind of a good drink. And it's kind of hard to explain because you're like, well, what's it taste like? It's like, well, you know what? People didn't know what Red Bull tasted like. People didn't know what Monster tasted like. It was just its own thing. And this cucumber melon, to me, it's just kind of its own thing, but it's a good flavor. It's something that you kind of have to try on your own to see if you like it. And you have to go based on what I told you and what the other reviewers have told you that. But before I get off topic, because this video is going to be way too long, it's a full line review, okay? And you want the details of what it tastes like. So who cares about the timestamp? Let's go ahead and take a look at the Caffeine Man rating chart. I'm going to put it up against the other melons. And with that limited amount of melons in there, it falls right in the middle at an 8.4. I think it's a good flavor, but I do think it needs either a touch more sweetness or a touch more of the melon flavor, or even a touch more cucumber to really stand out to make it what it says on the can. But definitely not a bad flavor. I encourage you to try it out for yourself. Unfortunately, I did not go in the proper order. I should have started with that a little bit lower, I guess. But I never would have guessed that that would be actually lower than the strawberry lemonade for the way I score things. Let's hope I am right for the last one. Here it comes. Last one up, Blueberry Mist. I'm not sure if you can see it on there. I was trying to show it close up. I can't see it on the small screen, but like I said, the background graphics are very, very, very subtle, and all of them have had some background graphics, and the colors have also been very accurate. The watermelon grape had the watermelon and grape colors, and I am most intrigued by Blueberry Mist. I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't know. I was wondering if it was going to be their version of Blue Raspberry, but in the name being Blueberry Mist, I was kind of hoping that maybe it was just going to be a blueberry or a blueberry forward flavor complemented by some mist, whatever that is. And I really don't think that it's going to be a blue raz now that I'm seeing the can. There is nothing at all that is purplish or raspberry or maroonish or a little bit of red. There's nothing in here in this color to represent raspberry. Then in looking at the picture, the top has blueberries and circles and stuff, and even the bottom has that same pattern of like blueberries. I don't see any hint of raspberries at all, and I think that if it was blue raspberry, they would have to stick to what they're doing with their graphics throughout and put some raspberry on there. And if it's not, if it's just a blueberry forward drink, I'm excited because there aren't many blueberries out there. I thought that the only one out there was the Red Bull one, and someone told me recently that hey, guess what, the blueberry Red Bull is being discontinued. I'm like, what? It's the only blueberry out there, but this could be the go-to if you're looking for a blueberry drink. Let's stop guessing. Let's get all that caffeine out of my system. It just keeps stacking up, and I keep talking and talking and talking and get to that Blueberry Mist. Last one on the list. My goodness, how much time are we at? If I had to guess, I would say we're close to the 19-minute mark. I mean, we got to be close to the 19-minute mark, if not more. I mean, I really wanted this video to be like under 22. That's my goal. If it is, I probably cut some stuff out. True that. Let's age it out. Come on, blueberry. Final one. You got to score high. You saw what those other guys scored, so you got a lot of pressure on you. It's true. Too much caffeine. All right, for your sweetness, we are on the low end of high, and for your flavor profile, we are also on the low end of high, man. With these light and refreshing drinks, it's really hard to say. I will say it's on the low end of high, but once again, a solid drink. And do not play a drinking game where you take a drink every time I say light and refreshing, because this is not it. I mean, if you're trying to play a joke on your friends, you just turned 21, you're like, hey, we're gonna watch a Caffeine Man video, and we're gonna do a drinking game, and you gotta drink every time he says light and refreshing. That's not a good joke to play on people. But lo and behold, when it comes down to it, all 5 of these drinks, light and refreshing drinks, but still solid flavors. It is definitely a great start for 3D Energy. I mean, their other flavors were good as well, but I think that they really streamlined them. They really actually made them all a lot better, or even just a touch better than some of the other ones that they had. And with the new flavors, the new unique flavors, watermelon grape, cucumber melon, and even this blueberry mist, a great job. And I need to talk about the blueberry flavor. Sorry, I get distracted. Happens with too much caffeine going through. Yeah, and I do think that it is a solid blueberry flavor. Whatever that mist is in there, that's just for flavor text. They can't just put blueberry. They gotta call it blueberry something, because there is no raspberry in there. I'm not getting any raspberry. I'm not getting much of anything else. And I think the reason why there aren't that many blueberry flavors out there is because it's very unique. And I keep saying I want a blueberry. I want more companies to do blueberry. But the only thing I had to compare it to was the Red Bull blueberry flavor. And I think it's because it is unique, and I'm not sure if everyone likes just a straight on blueberry flavor. Because now that I have a straight on blueberry flavor, I'm like, huh, that's a nice refreshing blueberry flavor, but there's something more that I'm wanting from it. I'm not sure if I want a little bit more sweetness or if I want a little bit more blueberry. We have a place near my house called D. Louise Bakery. They make the best blueberry pie that I have ever had. And sometimes, since I've been cutting back on my sugar the last like 5 or 6 or 7 years, trying to cut back a little bit, whenever I do have that pie, I'm like, oh man, I used to love this pie and it's still delicious, but it's almost like it's over sweet. So I do like my sweet drinks and I do like my potent drinks. So this is on the low end of high for sweetness, low end of high for flavor profile, and I would really like to see what this drink would taste like on a little bit higher in the sweetness, a little bit higher in the blueberry, but I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna see that if anyone else is gonna do a blueberry energy drink. So for now, we got this one, and where's it gonna be going on the Caffeine Man rating chart? Like I said, not too many blueberries to compare it to. All these drinks, light and refreshing. I am gonna go, oh, it's really, really tough, but I think, I wanted to say something, but I'm going to give it an 8.9. I wanted to give it a solid 9, but like I said, I am wanting just a little bit more from it, just a little bit more flavor or something. And like I said, they're all going light and refreshing, so the flavor seems to be toned down just a touch, itty bitty bit. But on all of them, I think they got a good flavor, good solid flavors. And on this blueberry one, I would like them to pump it up just a little bit more, but still a great drink. If I am looking for a blueberry drink, I am going to be purchasing that one, because the Red Bull blueberry has sugar in it anyway. But this one's getting an 8.9, so I did not go in the right order. I tried my best for you guys, but still, after doing this for over 6 years, I cannot predict how these flavors are gonna be, but I will always give you an honest review, try to explain the drinks as best as possible. All of these are definitely worth trying out. Once again, great job to Christian Guzman. Really liking these drinks. I think everyone's gonna like it. I am begging you, I am pleading with you, please, 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 Christian, bring back the gold. It's gold for a reason. I mean, gold is the epitome of any color out there. It's the most, platinum might be more, but still, gold. Bring back the gold. You brought back the red, white, and blue. You brought back the chrome or silver. You gotta bring back the gold for me, please. It was one of my favorite forever. Look, Christian, look at my top 10 videos. I know you're a busy man. I know you got lots of stuff to do, but 3D gold was in all of my top 10s. It's just such an amazing flavor. I was so sad to see it go, but I digress, because I'm supposed to be ending this video right now. So if you guys want to try these out, I know you guys don't like buying full cases of energy drinks. I would actually recommend doing that, to tell you the truth, because I think they're all really, really good, but that would be really expensive. But if you're looking to get all 5 flavors, or you're looking at other energy drinks, definitely check out Energy Drink City. It is definitely worth your time to just check it out. I am surprised by the large variety that they have. I am surprised by how many new drinks that they have, and I am surprised that they even have a Caffeine Man box. They asked me on my 4 favorite ones. I told them, and they put together a Caffeine Man box for me. And once again, you can save 10% with coupon code Caffeine Man. Thank you all for joining me. If you do want to see all my top 10, top 20 energy drinks, you can check out that playlist right there. And if you want to see what YouTube thinks you're going to like, you can check out that video right there. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, have yourselves a great day or night.